Okay, those of you who are interested in repair work might like a look around to see what is involved in doing full-scale repairs as opposed to simply restorations, which are cleanups. This is the living room of my house, and I'll hit each of the workstations so that later on we're going to use pretty much everything in here in terms of stations, and you'll recognize them in the photos. And this would be the main desk, so to speak, where all the fine work is done. In the back are rows of mostly files of different kinds and various rotary tools. And there's a chucking reamers that'll play a significant part in some stuff. They're in the corner there. There are two kinds of rotary hand pieces, the kind that are on cables. One is the SR model Fordham, and the other is the LX model Fordham. The LX is the high torque, low speed one. It's basically an electric drill with a very small chuck, and the other one, the SR, is the high revving version that most people are more familiar with. If you're going to do serious pipe work, both of them are a good idea. Here's some more exotic tools, and from time to time you need stuff that's on here. I won't describe any of it now. And this would be the drilling station, basically. These are the bits and pieces which support the drill press itself. And that is probably surprisingly large to most of you who have seen, well, think with pipes that a little benchtop unit is good enough. The truth is the small units, the hardware store size drill presses, lack the rigidity and precision necessary to do really good work. You need a large frame drill press, preferably one that's European or American made. This is an Arboga made in Sweden. It's badged Jet on there, but that's not, it's actually made in Sweden and just represented here in the US by Jet. There's the bending station, heat gun, some other little guys that we won't be using on this project. Here's a row of buffers, and there's all wax on this side, and an inexpensive disc belt sander combo for just utility work. This side we get into the heavy gear. That's a 3/4 horse 3-phase motor that is run with a specialized type of, basically it's a type of computer known as a variable VFD, variable frequency drive, and it allows this machine to spin from 0 RPM on up to its maximum speed of 3600 is smoothly, like a rheostat, but it won't overheat the motor like a rheostat will. You get full torque and no overheating. There's a silver wheel, a wax wheel. There's the robot, the R2-D2, that is the vacuum for the operation here. This is a belt sander designed for knife makers, people who make bladed tools, and it's called a Burr King. I think it's a Model 960 if I'm not mistaken. And there are 3 wheel widths for this and infinite selection of grits of all these belts, and it also has a VFD, so it can go from 0 RPM on up to its maximum speed. And the flexibility of those 3 factors, the width, the roughness, and the speed, allows you to do stuff on this that is truly amazing and massively work saving. Highly recommended if you get into repair work, especially stem making. Over here is basically a 3D catalog of stem replacements. I do use molded stems from time to time, and there's about 250 of them represented there. And over here are all the drawers that contain the indexed blanks. Here's just miscellaneous tools on both of these shelves with a music system for listening to the news and playing the music. There's also a lathe in this other room over here, but it's not used extensively. In my situation, it's mostly for specialized applications that nothing else will do. It's not a large lathe, but it's plenty big for making stems, which is basically what it's for in my case. So anyway, there's kind of a visual catalog of what you can expect to need doing repair work. Now, why it takes so much stuff is because you're going to be working on pipes that come from wherever, other people's stuff, and it can be made of anything, of construction materials, techniques, you name it. It's going to not be your choice. You must adapt. You're kind of like a utility player on a baseball team. You've got to do whatever you're asked to do, and the tool requirements and the material requirements for doing comprehensive repair work are surprisingly extensive. It's one of the reasons that there aren't more people to get into it. But I think that not showing you this would be a disservice, because everyone seems to be surprised by what it takes and usually disappointed to discover what it takes. They think that a trunk of equipment in their closet is going to be enough to do the job, and it might be, in the sense that theoretically you can get just about anything done with a screwdriver and a crescent wrench, but the time it would take you to do it would make it impractical, certainly not something you would do other than as a hobby. Alrighty then, on we go.